the best result ever.
Sure.
Sometimes that's not the case, but so it's competitive reasons. I want to win, and I want to be better than you. That's it.
Let me translate a little bit of what we have been talking for a moment, and you can think about any other question, Pedro. Yo le pregunté que cómo él comienza en este deporte, que por qué no es fútbol, ya que él viene de Londres, que en Europa y en Londres es bien grande ese deporte como en el mundo entero, o correr o cualquier otro deporte. Él dice que actualmente él sí lo hizo, él hizo fútbol, jugó fútbol y también corría y hacía otros deportes, pero que a él y que aunque no le gusta pelear, este deporte le llamó la atención porque él se puede medir a otras personas y puede ver quién es el mejor. Lo extraño de todo esto que él nos dice es que a él no le gusta hacerle daño a la gente en un deporte que, ¿verdad? Para tú ganar tienes que infligir algún tipo de daño o algún tipo de dolor en la persona para que se rinda, claro. o simplemente pues lo puedas noquear. Él es una persona que su estilo de vida es muy conservador, pero está en un deporte que usualmente pues no lo es, pero él es muy conservador. Así que eso es importante que ustedes lo sepan, las personas que nos escuchan a través del mundo entero, que son de habla hispana, pues ahí saben más o menos. Yo voy a tratar, ¿verdad?, de ir traduciendo poco a poco. Claro. No lo podré traducir todo porque hablamos muchas cosas, pero se los voy a resumir. Así que, dicho eso, Pedro, ¿tienes alguna pregunta?
What age did you start in the mixed martial arts?
I was a late comer to mixed martial arts as well. Yeah, I was late. I was 23.
23?
So you think most kids now, they start like 14, 15 years old, some even earlier. I was 23 years old.
Who is the person do you see? I see that person, I make the same with that person in the mixed martial arts.
Who was your idol?
Who's my idol at the time?
Sure.
Not your idols, because
who inspired you?
The person inspired to the sport, to coming in the sport.
Oh, Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva.
Well,
really?
Yeah. So much so. This sounds so bad. I named one of my sons after him. So Anderson Silva for me was one of the best guys to follow, and him and BJ Penn were the two guys I used to watch and try and emulate and practice everything they did and copy everything they did. But yeah, so BJ Penn and Anderson Silva.
For you, who is the person the best of the all time on the mixed martial arts? I remember that in my case, I liked Royce Gracie. Remember that?
Yeah.
The fight that Ken Chandler, the first UFC events.
Yeah.
I like Royce Gracie. What is yours?
I think this is a tough one to pick because this is a big argument that a lot of people talk about.
Sure. It's like the GOAT.
Yeah.
Who?
Unfortunately, I don't want to say this, but I can't deny it. The best person to ever do mixed martial arts was John Jones. Yeah. He's the best guy. Yeah. He's done the most, and I don't like him as a person, like what he's done with his life. I don't agree with, but you can't take away
John Jones, right?
John
Jones in fight
light heavyweight.
Brock Lesnar, right?
No, they never fought. But he was light heavyweight, and he's now gone to heavyweight.
Right. So Brock is heavyweight.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar was heavyweight.
All right. Bob, do you have 4 fights of professionals? Your first 2 fights you lost. Mm-hmm. You remember that one? The first one?
Yeah. So they were strange circumstances. Those.
You started on the age of 2011, right?
Yeah.
This is the first fight with the Ivan Raul Rivero.
Yeah. So it was a fight that was on 4 days' notice. So I got a phone call. A friend of mine, he said, "I can't fight. Can you fight for me?"
Really?
And I said, "Man, I've not been training. I've not been doing anything." He was like, "Please help me." So, I like to be a good friend. So 4 days notice, I said, "Okay, I'll take the fight." And I didn't know anything about the guy. I didn't know where I was going, what I was doing.
Yeah.
And the guy was very good. With 4 days practice, you're never going to win.
4 day practice for this
for the fight.
First debut in professional.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I lost the fight by Kimura. He submitted me, and it's funny because the second professional fight I had was pretty much the same circumstances, but it was 1 week. So I had a load of guys going to fight in Finland. They said, "Oh, we have a guy pull out. Will you jump in? Will you fight?" And I said, "I haven't thrown a punch in 2 years, but you want me to fight?" They said, yeah, can you please help? And so I, again, just trying to be a good person, I'd just jump in to help. And I lost the fight again, but it was just poor preparation. I just wasn't prepared for those situations because I didn't give myself that time. And I just jumped in thinking about somebody else. I want to help you, not I want to help myself.
Yeah, sure.
And then after that, I thought, I can't.
The first fight is in the United States or in London?
So my first ever fights.
Yeah, your first.
So I used to fight. We obviously back in the UK, you have amateur and professional, but it never used to be called amateur. It was semi-professional.
Oh.
So the only difference was you weren't allowed to elbow. That was it.
That
You
was
could do everything else. You just couldn't elbow.
Sure.
And so we had lots of amateur fights, like every couple of weeks, every couple of months. And I did okay. Some I won, some I lost. But yeah, I did okay. But my passion went more to jiu-jitsu at that time. So in the end, I ended up sort of steering towards jiu-jitsu. And after those two fights, I just kind of think, maybe it's not for me. You know?
The other difference is the elbow.
Sorry.
The only difference is the elbow.
That's it. The only difference was you couldn't elbow. That was it.
In
So
semi,
yes, yeah. So like you'd call it amateur now. So it's
Amateur,
amateur and professional. The only difference in the rules.
In professional, I can use.
So in professional, you can
Yeah.
elbow.
Wow.
In amateur, you can't elbow. You're not allowed. But back then, it was called semi-professional rather than amateur.